Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is 2021, November 22nd. So today we are going to do, I'm not sure, today we are going to do a walk-in session, okay? I'm just going to work on my website and whatever I'm going to, basically coding, okay? Lots of coding. And meanwhile, I try to tell you interesting things about emacs Lisp, PowerShell Wolfram language, or JavaScript. So I love to see your comments. If you are here, comments, okay, and tell me what subject matter, related to what I'm doing. Ask any questions or such a thing. Hello, immortality. Okay, let's begin. So there are some of the things I need to do. So why don't we do a Emacs workflow demo first, okay? Because there's something I need to do, okay? Let me show you. So here you are looking at my Emacs screen, of course, and on the pink window is all my command calls and keystrokes. For example, if I move cursor up and down or left and right by word or by character, or I jump by paragraph, you can see all the command calls above on the pink window. For example, I can delete these several paragraphs and undo. You can see let's turn on global highlight. You can see the command line I called, the command name I called, and the keystroke. So I'm using, let me show you what I'm using. I'm using Xafly keys, okay? So if you haven't already, go use it. Fantastic Emacs key binding system, Xafly keys. And there's a kind of an intro video, very old. I need to redo this. This is probably a year-old video. Xafly keys, okay? That's the key binding, efficient key binding to work with Emacs. And I'm using Vorak keyboard layout. So you go to Xafly keys website, you can click on Vorak layout, and it shows you the command QWERTY layout, Vorak layout, Comac, DH, Workman, and also supports Neo and others. Neo, some of the German layouts, Neo 2, BOP, and also Carpax layouts. Okay, Xafly keys, fantastic. It's on GitHub. Okay, so Emacs. So first of all, let's go to do. So I just call the command. So again, I'm going to do working on my website, and meanwhile I'm going to explain, hopefully giving you some tips about efficiency of using Emacs and also my packages. So first of all, open the to-do file. So this is a file, xa to-do, on my website. You can see the URL there, xali.info, and like I have tons of to-dos, like go down, the things on my website, 6,000 articles I have to fix, maintain, and stuff. So one of the to-do is so first of all, let me show you one of them. For example, this one is one of my website. You can see the URL there, and I need to replace this bitmap image by a interactive JavaScript. So, one of these days I'm gonna do a YouTube talk show and live coding this application JavaScript of 2-letter bigrams in English. So replacing that bitmap. So that's one of the to-do, for example, and several others. So right now, what I'm going to do is show you some workflow. So I have, for example, you can see, let's magnify, okay? You can see some of the words are underlined with a red underline. So you can see, let's see where is, you can see underline with red line. Here, okay? Now go back to the page, search for to-do, and you can see that underline is caused by, let me just go to the top. Let me show you a new one. So I type to-do space, and it automatically becomes span class to-do. And I give a date, then something I need to do. Okay, now show in browser. You can see we just added that, and that is red because of the class to do. So why do I? So let me show you the CSS. Okay, so split the window, go to the top, open the CSS file, search for to do, and you can see this line is what's causing it to be red, underline. So this is a to do. So why do I have that? Because I write blogs. Sometimes I write blogs and it's not complete. So I add this, I just type to do, then usually, let's do it again. To do, usually add a date and some notes. So, and they are underlined in red, so I can make them visually standing out, so I can see, oh, this is to do. But now I have moved lots of these to do, in random places of my blog into this one file. So collect them together. So since they are all here, I no longer needs the to do tag. So where is it? So let's go back here. So you see, I don't need the to do tag anymore. So I want to remove them. So how do? I just press a key. So do it. You see. Now let's do it on this one. If you look at the pink window, you can see that command is html delete tag pair. It will delete the whatever is a tag pair that is under the cursor position. So my cursor can be here. Do it. You see, undo, or my cursor can be at the end of the tag. Do it. You see, undo, or my cursor can be in the middle. Do it. Undo. So let's demonstrate. For example, right now, here is the image tag. Open it. That's this background image. Close it. Shrink the window. So I open it. Enter to open it. Close it. So if I want to remove, for example, this figure caption. You see this? Okay, let's press a key to highlight them. You see figure caption tag. So that's what this is, a kind of annotation for the image. So if I don't want this figure caption tag, I can just press a key. You see, again, they deleted it. Then I can press that. Then go back to browser, reload. You don't see that anymore. So you see, so that is so undo, undo, undo. So that command is the html delete tag pair. Okay. So if you like my htmlmod, you can buy it. So describe. Let's go to the source code of htmlmod, and this is one of the most efficient way to jump to any emacs Lisp package file location. Okay. So what you do is you call describe function. You call metax describe key, which is Control H K. Then you press a key that activates the function. So in my case, it's space. Let's try it again. Describe key space M H for HTMLmod, M for mod. So space MH. That's a key to invoke HTMLmod. So I press describe key, then press that key, then Emacs show me this doc string. Then I can press tab to jump to the file. So unsplit. So you see I'm right at the command where the definition is defined, htmlmod. So, and you can press a key, direct jump. Okay, this is a very extremely convenient command. Press a key, direct jump to go to the directory of this file is located with a cursor on the file name. You see? So you can see there it is, direct jump. So direct jump, by default, there's no key in direct jump. So you want to give it a key. If you are using Xafly keys, then it's just space M. Okay. Okay, so this is the file. Go to the top, and here's, and you can see the URL. Open it, and open it. The command is again 3 keys. So that command is open file at cursor. So now show in browser. So that's a mod. If you like it, buy it. Okay, thank you. That's open source. Okay, close it. So close it. So I just showed you, the command to remove tags. So let me do it again. So show in browser. So this is my to-do file, and in this file I want to remove all those to-dos. For example, here. Okay, let's do it. So let's interactive search. Okay, search to do. Okay, skip that. Okay, this is the part I want because it's got the class to do. So select that, search backward. So this is the first occurrence. So search it. Okay, delete it. Search, delete, search, next, delete. You see, do you see what I'm doing? Okay, so actually, so you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm doing? So let's make a backup. So there is a command. I just made a backup of the current file by this key on the pink window. Now I want to, I made a backup. Now I want to remove all these to-do tag. I don't want to remove the content, just the tag like that. Okay, but I just discovered a problem, because if you remove the tag, there's no containing tag. I mean, so when there's no containing tag, it shows up kind of like that, kind of squeezed together with other parts. So anyway, let's continue removing these to do. Okay, so what I do is interactive search, then type a quote, to do quote. Okay, that's what I want to find. Okay, now enter to exit it. Okay, now try again. Search then I press a key to search the next item. By default it will search whatever you last searched. So I'm on it. Press enter to get out of it, out of the iSearch mod. Then call the command delete tag pair. Okay, html delete tag pair. Okay, done. Now search again. Press arrow for next. Enter to exit iSearch. Then do it. Okay, fantastic. Now search again. Right arrow for next. Enter to exit. Delete the tag. Okay. So you see there are so that's what we need to do. There are a lot of repetitions. Now let's do them in a way that's faster. Okay. So let's do a macro. So emacs keyboard macro. So what I do is show you. Okay, let me show you. Now watch the pink window. So I press a key macro, start macro. Okay, now search. Okay, quote, to do quote. Okay, now enter. Now press a key to delete the tag pair. Done. Now that's it. Okay, that's it for the macro. Now I want to end macro. So press a key. So you got key macro, end macro. So I got one macro recorded. Now I want to execute the macro. Okay, we just recorded. So I do this. You see, it's actually done. Now it's just now you just press 3 keys. It does the whole thing. You see, and I do this again. You see, it happened again. And I do this again. You see, the next occurrence happened again. So let me show you an example. So you see, now you can see there is a to-do. Okay, right? There is one right here. Now let's put the cursor above it. Now I'm going to call the macro. Okay, by the way, the macro is the name of the calling the last macro is, let me show you, describe key, then press a key. So the command I'm actually calling is call last keyboard macro. Okay, so let me demonstrate. So again, I'm on this line, so the next line we need to delete is this to do, right? So I'm above it, so I'm just going to call last keyboard macro by a key press. Okay, now you will see that this to do will be removed. Okay, so do it. You see, now I'm gonna do this many times, so you see there's another occurrence. Now let me show you another trick. Okay, now I want to highlight all these to do tags by a color. So what I do, call highlight phrase. Okay, highlight phrase, then just paste it. Okay, to do. Okay, enter, highlight yellow. Okay, so now you can see all these to dos are highlighted as I scroll down. You see page down, page down, page down. You see lots of to dos. Now let's go back to top. Let's go back to here. So I'm gonna call the keyboard macro. Okay, call last keyboard macro. Do it. Okay, that's, so I just keep pressing that, and that will remove all these to dos. So that's the power of Emacs keyboard macro. But there's actually a one level up efficiency improvement. Okay, let me show you. Any comments and questions? Hello, Alan. Hey, let me get my pens. I need to spin my pens to soothe my hands. Hello, Alan and friends. Hello, said Tagimuti. Immortality. Great names you guys have. Huang, hello, Xa. Okay, so today's working on Xa website, coding, Emacs workflow, and lots of other things. So if you have questions, related to programming, technology, related to programming stuff, ask me. Okay. So I'm going to show you another way. So let me of improving the keyboard macro, improving efficiency. Okay. So you see, I recorded a keyboard macro. I can just call it. You see, undo. Okay. But I'm gonna even improve on that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that every time I call a keyboard macro, call last keyboard macro, that's 3 keys, because there's just, anyway, it's 3 keys. Okay, now I want to make it just one key, one simple key. Okay, undo. So what I do is I call the Emacs command, let's see, what's the command name? Describe key. The command name is called repeat. Okay, simply the command name is simply called repeat. That will repeat my key press for the keyboard macro. Okay, so let me show you. So call last keyboard macro, done. Now I'm gonna call the repeat command by a key. Okay, do it. You see, now it just did the call last keyboard macro, but now I just press one single key to repeat the whole thing. You see, now watch for example, watch my keyboard. Do it. Hold down the key, and it's done. So now, showing browser, you will see that all these to do red underline is gone. You will not see it. We did it. And now we can verify to check if what we did, is it actually true that there's no more to do tags. Okay, so what you do is list matching lines, and by default you can see in the mini buffer, by default you will search for the to do span tag. Okay, just do it. Then it says search one buffer, no match is found. Okay, so we have just finished the task by a keyboard macro and by a repeat command. So okay, so go to the talk show page. Let's write down what we did. Okay, so show in browser, that's today's talk show. Delete this stream information, and let's say, and to do, okay, I mean keyboard macro, okay, let me show you. So okay, let's write down emacs workflow efficiency tip. This is what we have just demonstrated. So the first command is that command, keyboard macro start macro. Then we have this command, keyboard macro end macro. Then I demonstrated this command, call last keyboard macro. Okay, so you just call that and you repeat your macro. Then we demonstrated the repeat command itself. Okay, now look, I press a key. So okay, so hold on a second. So let's make a paragraph. Okay, show in browser. So you can see emacs workflow efficiency tip, or this emacs command. Now I want to make them syntax color because these are emacs commands. Okay, press a key, they become the code tag. Go to the browser, refresh. You see, we demonstrated those. And now go to so I actually have a Emacs tutorial on keyboard macro, so you can read about it, kind of a summary of today's like tips. Okay, so press a key to open bookmark by keystroke. So it asks me open bookmark. I just type emacs. Okay, in fact, actually, I just type EB. Okay, so that opens my Emacs blog. Show in browser, there it is. Now you go to practical Emacs tutorial. Then down somewhere here on the left panel, there is a Emacs macro. Okay, so where is it? Too many. So just search in browser. Okay, keyboard macro, Emacs efficiency, keyboard macro. Click on that. So here is a tutorial on keyboard macro, which we just demonstrated. Copy the URL back to Emacs. Close that. Paste it here. So that's a path of URL. You see, this is very annoying. File : / and on Windows, then you have C : then /. This is actually very annoying, painful, because depending on browser, some browser when you open a local file, it requires you. It requires you to have this file : / because that part is actually part of the URL specification. So without that, without the file : / this file path is not considered a URL, which originally stand for Universal Resource Locator. Anyway, so that's a kind of some tech detail about web technology. So anyway, so I got this path, make a link. So now it becomes a relative link and also a list showing browser. So you got a link to this tutorial about Emacs keyboard macro. So I tell you all about it, how to do. And in fact, there are a total of 6 or so articles on keyboard macro. So you can see a variety of actual real-world examples of using keyboard macro to speed up your work. Okay, that's keyboard macro. Now, what about repeat? Did I talk about repeat, the command? Maybe not here. Completion, hippie expand, repeat last prompt command. Okay, so there is, so I explained the repeat here. Okay, let's copy it. Let's paste it here. Make a link and list. Combine the last 2 links. Show in browser. There it is. Okay, that completes one thing. Let's go back to do. That completes one thing of what I need to do on my website. So now let's see what you guys are saying. You guys are saying nothing. So I'm going to do the next task. Let's see. So I've been talking for 30 minutes. So I'm going to go do the next task, okay? In fact, actually, so this is to do. Let's see. Let's actually go to talk show notes. So if you guys see anything here, let me know what you want to do next. I'm going to do. So today we just finished doing that. Emacs workflow, delete the to-do tags. So let's move it. So this is my talk show topic notes. So let's open that. Yeah, so to do. So there is, it is that line. Delete it and go to today's talk show, paste it there. Okay, now remove the li tag and make it a whole list. Okay, showing browser. That's the main topic. I mean, that's the first thing we did. Okay, now what's next? So go back to the notes, showing browser. Yeah, topic notes. No questions, no answers, no comments. So I'm going to do a next thing. Let's see. Question, Huang, do you like to read 4chan, Reddit, or Hacker News? No, I don't like to read them, and I almost never read them. 4chan. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, so what should I say? You know, I don't read them. I think they rot your brain. Now this is coming from my 30 years experience as an adult. Now I'm 50 something, in my early 50s. So as a nerd, as a tech geeker, as a programmer, in the industry, I'm not, well, yeah, as a programmer in the industry for 30 years, just like you guys, like many of you guys, I read, all the discussions online. Even before, before the web, there's of course, there's IRC, there is news groups. You younger people probably don't know what the fuck is news group. But anyway, so there's, let me give you a history, okay? A kind of a summary of the online discussion technology in the past 30 years, starting from 1990s, okay? So there's news groups, 1990, 1980, this, okay, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna be like FOMO and whatever, So anyway, so there's news groups, there is, then there is CompuServe, okay, if you don't know what is CompuServe. Okay, basically it's online servers, okay, back then. This is even before the internet, before the, before web pages. There's no web pages back then. So there's a CompuServe where you buy a modem, you connect the modem to your phone, your not your cell phone. Cell phone wasn't invented until 15 years later. You connect it to your, line. It's called landline, phone, kind of hook them up, modem. Okay, let me show you some of the history. Okay, yeah. So I'm getting old, so I can talk about history, some history. So you go to, okay, talk show topics. Okay, you go to, but rather today I want to finish some of the, I want to work on my website, not talking random crap. When doing a talk show, like right now, it's very fun, and usually people like it when I started to talk, like rant, when I started to get into a rant on Unix, and people like it because it's dramatic, or some other kind of thing, or on politics because it doesn't require brain. You just enjoy the show. It's showtime, America. But all things considered, just like reading 4chan, Reddit, Hacker News, they provide entertainment for a while, but there's no substance. Okay, they don't. There's no substance. They don't last. So, but anyway, we digress. So let me show you some of the where is it? Technology in the past 30 years. Okay, yeah. Since we're talking about modem, let me just mention that. Technology, past and future. Let me show you guys one thing, okay? So these are, my commentaries on the technologies I've used or love. This is my heartbeat watch I bought in 1987, around there, $250. Before you guys, whatever, heartbeat phone today. So I bought this, 30 years ago, 35 years ago. So, and my first graphing calculator, also my first programming language, HP28. Chess, Chinese chess, abacus, Siri, Cortana, OK Google, this AI technology. Okay, anyway, I want to show you, the sound of obsolete technology. So, so that you are seeing this is a modem. So in 1990s, this is a 14.4 kilobits modem. Every 2 years, there's a new modem coming out faster. So anyway, I bought, every 2 or 3 years, I bought the latest one, because in order to connect to the, you don't even call it internet, like I said, CompuServe. Did I finish talking about that? Yeah, CompuServe. It's a service that provides a gateway to internet as well as to the CompuServe online servers. So besides CompuServe, there's also Prodigy and American Online. Now the last one, probably a lot of you heard of, or if you haven't, ask your dad, ask your parents, they probably have. These are online services around 1900s, So, okay, let me finish one thing at a time. So, and then we're gonna go back to look at that that modem. Okay, let me show you this modem. Okay, this is how it sounds like. You dial up, then you hear this sound. Okay, now you are connected. So that's what this, every time you connect to internet, that's what happens. Okay, so that's modem. So we're talking about modem, so I'm giving you a outline of the technology of communication, okay, especially online discussion. Okay, so there's IRC, there's the news group. Okay, you don't know what is a news group, but I'm not going to show it. Anyway, then there's CompuServe, these services, Prodigy, AOL Online, like you got mail, this is also funny. You've got mail. Okay, Nokia is also a classic. Then where's the, okay, Windows boot up sound, okay.
You've got mail.
Okay, that's the AOL. Very popular because they spam every mail. Yeah. So all technology. So IRC, newsgroups, AOL, CompuServe. Then you started to have web, like World Wide Web, and the term is cyberspace. Okay, World Wide Web. considered a cyberspace. Today you don't, nobody's called cyberspace. It's just the web, okay? But back then it was the cyberspace, and all these links, they are called hyperlink, okay? Not just link, it's called hyperlink. It's a new technology, hyperlink, cyberspace, hyperlink. Then you have, so web began. Then you started to have mailing lists, okay? Mailing list, I don't know if you guys know. Email, okay? Before all these, you have email somewhere before. So then you have mailing list, which is like email, but a group of people all together using these, these central servers where you send email to it, and all the people subscribe to the mail will see it. Then they can reply. So it kind of serves as a online forum via email. So that's called mailing list, okay? So if you search for it, there is a Wikipedia, I'm pretty sure, articles on it. I think Python still have a mailing list. Okay, there it is, mailing list, Wikipedia. Okay, that describes the history and so on. Then you have FAQomatic. FAQ is popular since the newsgroup days in the 1980s. FAQ is basically a compendium of all the questions people, of certain topic. For example, computer programming, how to play a piano, how to buy a piano, how to buy a house. What about adult videos, adult entertainment industry, what they do, how do you become an actor, how much they get paid, list of the porn stars, that's all part of the FAQ. How to do computational geometry, how to program in C language, all the most frequently asked questions about C programming language. People want to know, how to, so those FAQ are compendium or compilation of all the past discussion and experiences and their answers. So there are FAQs for all sort of subject, for thousands of subjects on newsgroup. So piano playing, porn, programming, C language, computational geometry, like all sort of things, mathematics, dynamical systems, lots of, and many are very specialized in math or programming, especially those, because most people go online back then, news groups, they are nerds, So you have FAQ. So FAQ back then is kind of analogous to today's Wikipedia. So when you have a question, something, you go to the FAQ of that subject, because all the people have asked the questions, and people collect them, and format them into a nice article. So FAQ. Okay, then you have newsgroup. Then you started to have the web. Then you have the mailing list. Then you started to have FAQomatic. What that means is that it's a Perl script placed on a website, a web server, that allows people to create FAQ in a somewhat automatic way. Because before, remember, before it was mailing list and news groups, where, just like today's Discord, for example, we have the Discord. Today you are familiar with Discord, right? You go there, a bunch of people, you are a regular there. After a year or two, you have seen many same questions popping up and the answer. So you start to compile them. It takes a lot of time. You start to collect all the questions, same questions, and their answers, so people can just read them, without asking again and again. Like every few weeks, every few months, we have a question about the Tank Man of China every month. So that's a frequently asked question. So I have to compile, and I have to give the answer. So so it's very tedious to create those FAQs. So someone started to write a Perl script called FAQomatic. I'm not sure if we can still find it. FAQomatic. Okay, let's try to find kind of old history. There it is, FAQomatic. So this is around 1997. Okay, there it is, FAQomatic download SourceForge. SourceForge is one of the earliest, like today's GitHub, like the centralized collection of all open source software. SourceForge is the very first, around year 2000. Okay, so FAQomatic began, which is a Perl script that is placed on a server, a website, that allows any people to just go there and edit there right there, without one single editor who works on, maybe Emacs or VI, do it. So everyone can just go to this website, FAQomatic, about, let's say, about keyboard. Then everyone can just edit it. Okay, so FAQomatic is the father of wiki. Okay, now I'm telling you a history. This is a history. Okay, FAQomatic is the forerunner of the wiki concept, like Wikipedia. Today we have Wikipedia. You see, anyone can go and edit it. Where does it come from? It began with the idea of, with the FAQomatic. So then you have Wikipedia. Then Wikipedia began around year 2002. Okay, before Wikipedia, so you have FAQomatic. Then you also started to have instant messages. So instant messaging. Okay, let's go to Wikipedia. Let's see what they say. Let's see, do they show Yahoo? There it is. So this is Pigeon FAQ. They scan. Pigeon is a Linux version, but shouldn't be here. They should show, because if we are talking about history of instant messaging, the prominent ones is not Pigeon. Pigeon is just that's just the push for open source FAQ by the open source FAQ heads. They put it here prominently, a picture, a buddy list on Pigeon, but that's not the. In terms of history, Pigeon is nowhere here. Okay, shouldn't be on this. Shouldn't have a prominent screenshot here. Instead, you should have AOL Instant Messenger. They are mentioned here somewhere. Classic Instant Computer. What do they say? Did they say gossip? Okay. I don't. MSN. Okay. This is again open source FAQ. This is, you see, this is propaganda. Okay, so they show this because it's open source. They are showing this application. This is a Linux. I'm pretty sure it's a Linux application that they communicate to different instant messengers. Propaganda. Okay. The real history of instant messaging, nothing about. It's not about these Linux things. Okay, that's a. You can find it. Okay, so there's IRC, ICQ, then there is AOL Instant Messenger, Yahoo Instant Messenger, and Microsoft Instant Messenger. Okay, because they are widely used. They are used by almost everyone. They are mentioned them somewhere, but I'm not gonna check. Okay, so you started to have these instant messengers. Then you start to have video. Voice. Real-time voice instant messaging, and also video. So this is year 2000. You have to buy webcam. Not like today's webcam. 20 years technology, but back then you also have webcam, which is pretty lousy compared to today, of course, and lots of interruptions. You also require internet bandwidth, right? So instant messaging. Then you started to have Wikipedia. then Facebook came up. Facebook is also a revolutionary, okay? Even I think the Mark Zuckerberg is a scum, human animal. He's one of the biggest scum of human animal. It's a, I don't think he's a good person. He's a bad person. But Facebook did actually, despite, Mark Zuckerberg being a scum, it actually did revolutionize internet because for this aspect. What is the aspect? It is the first revolution in internet where people started to show their actual face, okay, Facebook, due to reasons, because Facebook was the college, in the elite college dorm, which Mark Zuckerberg is one of the scum. They are rich. They want to show girls, college girls, which one is more fuckable, compared to two girls, click which one is more fuckable, things like that, or compared to a cow, things like that. That's the origin of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg scum. But anyway, Facebook, then it grew and grew. It was back then in Harvard, I think, and it grew to other colleges, because Zuckerberg. So he's a scum, but however, he's a entrepreneur. That is true. Okay, so he pushed the idea to all the colleges. Then he expanded to outside colleges. So it becomes a kind of widely used website, Facebook. And because of the name Facebook, because the origin is in college, you have the college, yearbook with faces. So that's how it's Facebook. So, and Facebook is the kind of the milestone of internet, because it is the one that people started to actually show their face online. Because before that, never. Okay. Because of these hacker idiots, they have a tendency, they want to remain anonymous. So Facebook made a milestone, revolutionary change. One of, okay, all these others are before it, So one of the revolution change, that is, people started to show actual face online, and also the people who use online, who go online, who uses web, is no longer just a handful of nerds. You started to have actual people like your mom, like your mom back then, they started to use internet. So you have Facebook, then the rest, I guess Then you have Twitter, then you have Google. Google tried several, then you have the social justice warrior, then the rest, Okay, so that's some of the history of internet. I digressed far. Okay, so what else? Mono Man says, so a question about whether I'm going to create a course on Udemy. I don't think so, because so create a course on Udemy. No, I'm not going to do it. Udemy is one of those startups, shall we say. They care about nothing except money. They do whatever they can to maximize the money they make, just like Google, Twitter, and so much others. And there are several of them. Udemy, for online course, they do whatever they can. They all and they say nice things. We provided these servers to help humanity or whatever, but the bottom line is they don't care about anything else. They only care it's true to say the only thing they care is to make money for themselves. And as a consequence of that fact, they become corrupt in their decisions, their choices. You create an account, then something happened. Every decision is based on making more money for themselves, just like Twitter, Facebook, and all that. So I don't know about Udemy itself. I've heard, controversies, lots of, but I don't. So I'm not going to use it because usually you get fucked. Okay, well, it depends on like not for me, because if you are an average person, say if you are an average person, then you know about programming, certain topic of programming. Yeah, sure, you're gonna create a video, you see, oh, there's Udemy, so, oh yeah, I can make money with it. So you're gonna create a nice tutorial, lesson 1, lesson 2, and go read Udemy's rules or whatever. Then you can publish there, then you'll make money, and they will also make money. They take some percentage. If you are a normal person, that's what you do. And for a normal person, you only have one goal too. You have one single goal, to make money. That's vast majority of whoever doing things on Udemy. You have one single goal. You don't care about philosophy or what history of internet. All you care is, oh, I know this programming language, I want to make money. Oh, there's Udemy, I'm gonna make it nice and nice, no swearing and everything, and put it there so I can make money and Udemy can make money. That's what you want. For if you are the kind of average people, that's not for me. Okay, because it doesn't work. Even if I need it, it doesn't fit me. It doesn't work out because first of all, I don't have I'm not that type of person. So when I do videos, tutorial, I don't focus on one nice focused lesson, like lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and I'm not into that at heart. So it doesn't work out, for me. Then you have to follow their rules or whatever, Then they put up, code of conduct, that's very offensive to me. That is contrary to my ethical principles. I think only scum do that. So if one day I don't know, they probably already did. Code of conduct, blah, 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 blah. I disagree. That's offensive to me. I believe that's a scum. People on earth, they want to control, they want to do things, bad things. So that's not for me. Okay, Duos Vos, you seem quite hostile to open source. Can you go over why, or do you have an article on that? I have 10,000 articles on that. Seriously, well, not 10,000, but I have like over 10, 20 articles on that. And in the past 2 years, I've talked about that in depth so many times. This is a FAQ. This is a repeating occurrence. Like for example, I can spend the next hour to address your question. I can try to give a coherent criticism of open source, why I'm not into it, why I think it's evil. I can do that. But then by tomorrow, there's 10,000 people gonna ask me the same thing, because that's exactly what I did. In the past 2 years, so many videos giving you a detailed account why open source is so harmful. But that's the thing. That's the thing about code and propaganda. It's not just because, you actually put up a answer, then people are gonna read it. No, propaganda is that the way propaganda works is that code and propaganda is that they spread to the massive number of people. It's like this. Okay, so that's digression. Okay. Now, whether you believe in open source, whether you believe in what I say, whether you believe I have my reasons against open source, if you actually read it, it's good or not, it's up to you. Okay, so so in my opinion, open source it's not a bad idea, but it turned out to be super. It became extremely evil. Perhaps analogous to communism, the idea of communism. Okay, Now that's getting very complex subject. Okay, that's it for today. Maybe I think. Okay, so how long have I been talking? Almost an hour. So it's 10 more minutes. Let's shut down. Okay, I wanted to. Maybe we can go back to some technical stuff. I wanted to do some of these, but maybe that's it for today. Refresh. So I need to redo sitemap, and I'm gonna give a tutorial, and I need to write this emacs command. Those are short and clean emacs commands. I can talk and do it live, and you can learn some emacs Lisp. And yeah, so one of the talk show, I'm gonna talk about a complete tutorial on the syntax and operator aspects of Wolfram language in comparison to Lisp, for example. The Lisp symbolic expression, very similar. Okay, so that's one of the days I'm gonna do. And this again, I'm gonna rewrite this live. I'm gonna code this live in Wolfram language, and you can see the whole thing rotation of it, dynamic rotation. This is mathematics. This is called stereographic projection, and the jargon you want to look up is Riemann sphere and complex analysis. You know, have to do with complex numbers, and if you are into physics, relativity, you know, you need to understand all these. So I was thinking, so I did this like 20 years ago. So I was thinking 2006. Okay, I did this 2006 with Wolfram language, and you know, I can, you know, it's been 15 years. So Wolfram language has improved a lot in different ways. So I can redo this live, and I, you know, so what you are seeing here is a stereographic projection, meaning that you map a plane, whatever figures on a plane, onto a sphere. So that's what you are seeing here. And yeah, so I'm gonna do this live coding of this. Yeah, okay, so that's it for today. Any last words? So open source to me, it's a code. Okay, of course, many of you are believe it, you know, because I'm in, you know, I'm part of the open source. You know, that's why you guys find me interesting, because I spend my whole life in the open source community, more specifically Unix, Linux, Perl, Python, Apache, Bash. That's the technology I know. Why? Because I don't like big corporations such as Microsoft. Apple is a different story, you know, but Apple tends to have extremely good design. But anyway, I don't like big corporations. So in many aspects, I have the same mentality as many of you, or nerds and hacker mentality, you know, against big organization, have kind of the conspiracy minded, you know, looking for, you know, and not in mainstream. So I like the Unix. You know, I share a lot mentality with the Unix, you know, type of people, hacker types. But the Unix technology and open source in general, yes, especially open source. Open source is became political. It's one of the worst, does the worst harm to computing industry. So bad, you know, I cannot, you know, I keep talking about this. I'm gonna swear. The most severest swear, you know, possible, but that's it. So open source, yeah. So open source, and you know, I think it's a code, and you know, for you guys, you know, I cannot change your mind. You know, usually, you know, you maybe you might think about it, but not likely. Okay, bye guys. yeah, source of conduct, the entire, they changed the name master, git, they changed lots of things, we starting to talk about that, we get into politics very fast. Then Google is gonna ban me, so why is Google gonna ban me? Why today we are in the situation where I have to be very careful, not to mention many of the, like Twitter, social justice things, if I talk about it, or gender, oh my God, I said the forbidden word, what's wrong, what's going on? Why can't we talk about it? If I do, Google is gonna ban me. Google is gonna say, oh, your video is not suitable for Google ads, or they're gonna just ban your account. Happens so many to so many people. Why do we have that such situation? I would in part blame it to open source. Okay, you ask me why. Part of it is very significant. Okay, it's not separate. A very significant part of the reason why this happened is the open source fanatism. Okay, it's a trend. It's a heavy trend. Juggernaut. The classic word. I don't know if millennial generation or the Zoomers know what that word means. Juggernaut. It's like, so juggernaut means, you can look up. It's like a strong, powerful coat. That not. Like a heavy train, you cannot stop it. It just run over whatever, creates a wreck. That's what I believe, that open source is part of it, and part of also Free Software Foundation. They are connected. Anyway, that's it for today. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy some. We shut down in 2 minutes or so. I'm just gonna instant messages we talked about. History of online communication tech. News groups, IRC, instant messages, FAQomatic. Wiki, then you have Wikipedia. So before there's FAQ somewhere. History of online communication tech. Newsgroups, IRC, FAQ, instance, then the web, World Wide Web, cyberspace, hyperlink. This is around 1995, 1994. Then instant messages, FAQomatic, more or less, or in this sequence of technology. Wikipedia, Facebook, Twitter. I might forget a few. For example, there's MySpace. Okay, MySpace is before Facebook. Okay, but I'm giving you the general outline. Facebook, Twitter, then the rest. Okay, basically. This is up to 2010. Showing browser. So what else we talked about? Close that. Instant messaging, close that. FAQomatic. Yeah, okay, this is the very first one. This is the original, okay? This FAQomatic written in Perl, because I was a Perl programmer for 4 years, working on during the .com. This is the very first FAQomatic, the father of Wiki, which is the father of Wikipedia. It's a script written in Perl as an online form that allows anyone to start to write FAQ, like questions and answers. Anyone can edit. And you remember this icon that, so this is very classic. So let's copy that. I'm amazed that this is still here. So who wrote this? I forgot who is the person. You want to know. sometimes it's interesting to see what have people been doing. So you see that link. So kent.john.net. I haven't gotten around to looking up the virtual host directives in Apache yet, so you'll just have to pick your destination yourself. Now this guy is very old. How old is he? Let's say 50 something or 60. Maybe they usually have a family. They don't or they became managers. They become the boss of some big companies or whatever. So this is back in like 1997 or so. Okay, FAQomatic is a CGI based system. CGI, if you don't know, CGI is the first technology that allows you to have dynamic information, dynamic web pages that instead of static, just static web page, dynamic web page where so you can interact with it, like you can submit, you can change things, you can FAQomatic. So that is this guy. Okay, I guess copy that, go here, paste his link. Okay, so actually I don't want to link, because when you have lots of links on your website, then it became a maintenance hell. Now what is this? Now this is a later thing. FAQomatic.net. This is what crap. Close that. Mailing list. Okay, we talked about mailing list. Oh yeah, we forgot to write about it. Instant messages. Mailing list. Okay. Then obsolete technologies. Let's post it here. AOL Prodigy. Okay, so there. I still have archive of my CompuServe posts back in from 1992 to 1994. Back in I was in college, in a community college, and I was very into math. So on CompuServe, I joined, there's a math forum, basically a group like today's, in Discord, you call it a server, like they have different terminologies of each technology. On IRC, you call it a room is called a channel. On instant messages, a room is called a room. You enter a room, like a group of subject, the topic of that discussion. On instant messages, it's a room. On Discord, you have servers. Then in each server, each one is called a channel. Idiotic. It should be just called a room. Okay. So CompuServe. So there is a what they call it, I forgot, a room or whatever. Basically, they have a group. They talk about math. So I was very much into math. So I was there posting a lot, asking a lot of questions, and learning a lot of things. I still have archive of my CompuServe posts 30 years ago. Close that. Repeat last command. Did we copy that here? Yes. Close that. That's it. Thank you, guys. Pay me, donate me, okay? htmlmod. Bye.